Hello, welcome to Prepclass Tutors. I am Abel, and today we're going to be looking at the continuation of this our video on WAEC Mathematics past questions for the year 2020. So we are focusing on question number 10 to 15. But just before we proceed, I would like to remind you, like and comment on our videos, because by so doing, you'll get a lot of exciting content, educational content that will be very exciting and also enriching to you. So I would like us to proceed from where we stopped in our previous videos, and we are looking at question number 10. So question number 10 says the implication of x is greater than or equal to y is equivalent to. So here we have the expression x is greater than or equal to y, and we are asked to rewrite this in another format, so to say. So what basically this context required of you is to apply this basic principle here, which means that each time you divide or multiply by a negative number both sides of an inequality, the sign will change. It will have to reverse in direction. So basically, this is what was given to us from the question. So now, by the time I multiply both sides by -1, so x minus 1, we have x minus 1, and y times -1, I have minus y. And basically, as you can see, the direction of the inequality was to the right before, and all of a sudden, it has twisted to the left. So this, as you can see, shows that minus y is greater than or equal to minus x, which is exactly what we have here. Now, this is supported by option A. So, proceeding to the next question, we have sequence and series question here, and it says the first term of a geometric progression, a GP, is 3, and the fifth term is 48. Find the common ratio. So here we have a common ratio here to look out for, given the first term and the fifth term. So what we need to do is to take note of the general term for calculating an n term of a GP, a geometric progression. So as you can see, this is the expression. This is the equation here. We have Tn is equivalent to AR raised to the power of n minus 1, where A is the first term, which is given as 3. R is the common ratio that we're looking for, and then the Tn is the nth term in question. So substituting into this expression, we have A as 3. Here is our R that we're looking for. Our n is 5. And then we now have our -1 from the formula, and this is equivalent to 48, as the question says here. The fifth term is equivalent to 48. So from here, we divide both sides by 3. So it means that our r raised to the power 4 is equal to 16. So r raised to the power 4 is equal to 16 can be expressed in this format. That is 2 raised to the power 4 is the same thing as 16. So it directly means, by comparing the basis of this power of 4, that r is equivalent to 2. You could also apply a different concept to still get your r is equal to 2 by finding the fourth root of both sides of this equation. Fourth root here cancels the power of 4, and then the fourth root of 16, which means a number that when it's multiplied by itself 4 times will give you 16, is definitely going to be 2. That is 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8, and another times 2, which is 16. So in either way, our r is going to be equivalent to 2. So this is option A. Proceeding to the next question, we have an inequality question yet again. Solve 1 all over 3, open bracket, 5 minus 3x, close bracket, less than 2 all over 5, open bracket, 3 minus 7s, close bracket. So we're supposed to simplify this to something that can be seen here. So proceeding with this, you discover that this is the expression written. So the first thing we do is to look for the LCM of the denominator. That's the LCM of 3 and 5. And that LCM is 15. We just got that by multiplying 3 times 5, which is 15. So I multiply every term here, both sides of the inequality, by the 15. So 15 times everything here. So 3 into 15 is going to give us 5. So this is the 5. And the expression is still maintained here, as you can see. And on this other hand, 5 times 15 is going to give us 3. This is a 3. This 2 is still maintained here. This bracket is still maintained here. So far by multiplying both sides by 15, we resulted in this. So what we need to do now is to open or expand the bracket. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times minus 3x is going to give us minus 15x. And by the time we come to this other side, less than, we have 3 times 2, which is 6. 6 times 3, that's 18. And again, 3 times 2, 6. 6 times minus 7, minus 42x. So the next thing we do is to take away or collect like terms on one side of the inequality and take constant on the other side. So taking away this 25, we try to subtract by minus 25 here. So minus 25 cancel minus 25. 25 cancel minus 25. And here we have 18 minus 42x minus 25. So we subtracted minus 25 here, and we had to do it here too, so as to maintain the sign we have here. So we will be left with this because we'll just be left with minus 15x on the lesser side of the inequality. And on the greater side, we'll have this expression, which simply means 18 minus 25, and that's going to give us minus 7. So minus 42x minus 7. And from here, still, we want to bring this minus 42x to the other side of the inequality. So we have to add plus 42x to both sides. So plus 42x is added here. So you can see it is also added here. So this minus 42x plus 42x will be 0. And here minus 15x plus 42x is going to give us 27x is less than minus 7. Now we're left with dividing both sides by 27 in order to obtain the range of values of x. So when we divide both sides by 27 here, you discover that 27x all over 27 is going to give us x is less than minus 7 all over 27. So this is option D. Be very careful. Look at option C. You see the sign 7, but carefully analyzing it, you discover this is 22. Option D is our answer. So proceeding to question number 14, it says make M the subject of the relation K is equivalent to, this is a root sign covering everything here. Take note of that. So the square root covering all this, m minus y, all bracket divided by m plus 1, something like this. You see? So k is equivalent to square root of m minus y, all divided by m plus y. So by the time we square both sides of the equation, we discover that k squared is equals to m minus y all over m plus y, because the square would have cancelled the square root to remove the umbrella sign of the roots. So now we cross multiply both sides, because this k squared is equivalent to having k squared all over 1. So 1 times m minus y is going to give us m minus y, and then k squared times n plus y is going to give us k squared n plus y. So we just need to open this term, this bracket, to expand it. So k squared times m is going to give us k squared m plus k squared times 1 is going to give us k squared, and is equals to m minus y. So I want to collect terms in m on one side of the equality and bring in other terms on the other side. So bringing y to this side, it becomes positive, and taking k squared m to the other side, it becomes negative. So I collect like terms here, m into 1. By the time you expand this, you get the m back. M times minus k squared, you get minus k squared m back here. So as you can see from here, to get m, we need to divide both sides by 1 minus k squared. So by so doing, discover that 1 minus k squared cancel 1 minus k squared here, and leaving us with m is equals to k squared plus y all over 1 minus k squared. So this invariably means that my m is equals to k squared plus y all over 1 minus k squared. So this is option B here. So proceeding to the last question in this video, it says, find the quadratic equation whose roots are half and minus 1/4. So we have the roots of a quadratic equation, and we're asked to find which equation here will satisfy or will have its roots being half and minus 1/3. So there's a general formula that we need to work with here. So you can see it is x squared minus the sum of the roots. Emphatically, please don't forget the sum of the root x plus the product of the roots is equivalent to 0. So now the root of a quadratic equation is the point at which the quadratic equation is being truncated, or truncates the x-axis or the y-axis, depending on the direction of the curve, whether it is on x or on y. So the sum of the root is half plus 1/3, plus times minus will give us minus. Then looking for the LCM here, we have 6. So 2 into 6 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 into 6 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1, and then I have my denominator, which is 6. Now the product is going to give us 1/2 times minus 1/3. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. 2 times 3 is 6. So the product is minus 1/6. So all I need to do is to substitute the sum and the product into this and this position respectively. So here I have x squared minus 1/6x plus minus 1/6 is equals to 0. So by the time I multiply everything here by 6, just to clear the denominator, discover that here will be 6 times x squared, which is 6x squared, minus this 6 times 6, it will cancel, so I'll be left with minus x here, which is here. Then plus times minus is minus. 6 times 6 is going to give us minus 1. So this gives the equation to be 6x squared minus x minus 1 is equals to 0 as our final answer, which is option D. So with this, we have come to the end of our video. And just in case you're just joining us, please don't forget to like and comment on our videos, because by so doing, you'll keep up to track on the remaining questions that will come your way. Until then, you have a nice day.